Good morning. This is Laura Bag with OG Star Wars. And I just read an article while I was laying in bed, just peacefully, just laying, just resting, recovering from a crazy weekend. And this kind of pissed me off. And I can't believe, well, maybe I can, because the way that Disney Star Wars is taking, our sequel, our characters from the OT, and discrediting them, making them as if they never had um, been a crucial part of the story. Just really just pisses me off, and I can't stand this. All right, so the article I read is and I'll put it up here, so let me grab that real quick. Let's see here. Okay. See, am I going to be able to pull it up? Where is it? All right, so here we go. I hope you can see that. Yes, you can. Okay, let me go back to it. And my cat is in my way. Go. All right. So it's called, oh, fail. It's called Rise of Skywalker Prequel proves Rey is better than Anakin or Luke. All right. So take that in. From all we watched and read in George's era, now we have someone that is better than them. And we already kind of figured that because she's a Mary Sue. So let's go on to read the story. It says, warning, following content are contains spoilers for Marvel's journey to Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker Allegiances, part or number 3. All right. So one of the most divisive points of the new Star Wars era is Rey's depiction as a powerful Jedi. Mary Sue? In The Force Awakens, we saw her wielding a lightsaber and fighting off ruthless and seasoned killer Kylo Ren. I don't know about that. He's not very much of a character as well. Without training, well, of course, because she is better than. And so this is kind of proving the point of the Mary Sue-ness if you read this article, but it's also kind of ticks you off as you go along in this article here. She also used the mental powers of the Force as if she was pretty much an expert. Well, yeah, with no training. Yes. So this is really debunking. And keep on forgetting to drop my notifications. So if you hear those blings, that's what's going on. All right. So this is really throwing and trashing away the training that we see in the prequel trilogy that every single Jedi had to do, even Yoda. So basically, not only is this article saying she's better than the Skywalkers, especially Anakin, the chosen one, but she's better than Yoda, who has about 900 years experience before he passed away. Okay, so this led to haters stupidly calling her a Mary Sue. So this person is targeting now people calling out facts based upon evidence that are provided in the movies that, yes, she is a Mary Sue because you do, as a Jedi, need training. And this is what is clear. She's just as much a chosen one as Anakin was. Okay, so now we're going to retcon according to this article. People are seeing that this is retconning Anakin's journey, making the whole foundation that the sequel trilogy is built upon invalid. Nice job. Great job, Disney Star Wars. All right. In Marvel's journey to Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker Allegiance, however, we're seeing the truth, and it has nothing to do with luck. Rey's not a fluke or simply being given powers boosts for mere plot convenience. Says, I think so, because they even failed to train her, or she even failed to get training from Luke. And I'm sorry, those little scenes in there was not training. She was already doing that without him telling her, which Jedis need that training, need that conditioning. And so we see it in the prequel trilogy, and we even see it in the OT. If it wasn't necessary, then why would Obi-Wan tell Luke to go seek out Yoda? Okay. We must remember Luke had a mentor to start him off on Tatooine in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, because the story goes is that Anakin fell into the dark side, the twins were born, and they were the hope of the galaxy. Luke was the hope of the Jedi. Leia was the hope of help rebuilding the New Republic. And eventually in the EU, she became a Jedi. But first, she accomplished the first thing she needed. She followed in her mom's footsteps, and Luke followed in his dad and became what his dad needed to be. And but because he was the chosen one, his path was a little bit more different. All right. And ironically mentored Anakin along with Qui-Gon Jinn and the Phantom Menace. In fact, Anakin had an entire Jedi council overseeing things. Well, yeah, during that time, Jedis were trained again. And so was Luke. Again, there was no order at the time of Luke. He became the one to bring back the order. Okay. Let's see. As for Luke, as he progressed, he also had Master Yoda to train with on the Swamp Planet. So yeah, we're rehashing everything that happened with Luke. And they're trying to use that saying, oh, well, look at them. They're weak because they need to be trained. No, in order to be good, in order to hone any kind of skill, you need training. You're not born with any natural ability to do things good. You may be a little bit skilled at it, but as you work on and you practice, you get training, and you also learn and succeed and fail. And failure, going back to the sequel trilogy, failure is a good lesson, right? Well, obviously not for Rey, because she could do anything without failure because she is just that good. That's bullshit. Okay, let's go on. All right. In other words, both the Skywalker soldiers got soldiers. They're not soldiers. Okay, got hands-on advice and experts to show them the way at various stages in their Jedi life. Okay, so soldiers know there were knights. They were Jedi knights, and you can progress to masters. So, get your facts straight. Okay. Rey doesn't have this luxury, which is what makes her meteoric rise all the more impressive in the comic Prequel in December's Rise of Skywalker from Ethan Stacks. Okay, so basically, in order to understand more of Rey's Mary Sue-ness, and if you love her Mary Sue-ness, read the comics, because of course you need material to read to understand the sequel trilogy and anything Star Wars these days. And so there you go. In George's era, in his EU that was developed in his franchise, they were more expansions of the movies than explanations. So this is explanation universe of Disney Star Wars, not expanded. So we could just call it explanation universe. Get it? All right. So in training, All right. So just tell us about how she's been, training, fighting force sensitive monsters and scavenging missions unsupervised. Yeah, sounds like a bounty hunter too. It sounds like any kind of scavenger that doesn't have the force. So what? All right. It is quite evident there's unrest at Mon Cala, and General Leia goes to find reinforcement for the resistance. Rey's found using her staff like a boomerang. Okay, whatever. Spinning it with her mind alone and basically showing up the basic skills we saw in Annie and Luke, i.e. some flips here and there and basic swordsmanship. Okay, so yeah, you're comparing to the movies. And we also seen Anakin use beast mind control, so he learned how to make friends with beasts and use them. We also seen him do various things on taught in the EU, and that same with Luke. And Luke himself in the EU had to do a lot of training by himself as well. He said he wasn't gifted anything other than knowledge here and there from the Force ghosts like Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan had to leave. Also, he was on a mission to find people and the lore and archives and training material to further his training, to further his abilities. Yes, he's a son of the chosen one. So he has that inherent quick learning. And every Jedi or Force sensitive has some kind of inherited use of the Force. It's usually telekinesis. That's very, very basic. But in order to further your knowledge and strengthen your powers, you need training. All right. Oh, and then Rey's on a high level. Rey's high. Okay. All right. Not to mention she got the mind tricks down along with advanced usage of the Force telekinesis. Again, Mary Sunis. Even Obi-Wan in the movies shares that using mind tricks is something you have to be trained for. And when you look at the history and the lore, in the original EU coined legends, it's also stated in there that not everybody inherits the same Force abilities, and not every Force sensitive couple who has a kid or Jedi kid is going to be Force sensitive themselves. Corran Horn is one I like to use as a great example. He's one of them I kind of touch myself as one of my favorite characters because of his flight, his struggle, and he has training elsewhere. Basically, he's Corsac, again, training to achieve those abilities in any kind of area of life you need. I'm an artist, and yeah, I've been drawn since I can remember picking up a crayon, but my skills did not advance just by doing that. I needed to sit down, put in the time, put in the effort. I love watching Bob Ross, on Channel 18 PBS and stuff, but I needed to put in that time and training for myself to develop my skill. And that goes with this. And so this is such a very big cop-out. That's why I'm so friggin' pissed at this. Okay, now she's greater than any Jedi ever, because she didn't need training. And so that really just does damage to the lore as well, because now we have this confirmation of a Mary Sue. This is what this is about. All right. Seriously, a comparison of the three and their abilities at their current stage shows that, like it or not, Rey stands head and shoulders above the rest. And look at this comic. I'm sorry. I'm not a big comic person, but as an artist and looking at various comics strips and stuff, I am not impressed with this style. So here we go. She's not even leaning on Leia's knowledge of the Force. Well, Leia doesn't really have that much knowledge of the Force. And when you look into Disney's explanation universe, and that's what I'm going to start calling it now. And if you guys want to join in with me on that, let's call it explanation universe. And then we have the expanded universe for George Lucas era. All right, so let's do that. Leia never had training. She just had maybe very basic telekinesis type training from Luke, and then she declined further training. And that's in Bloodlines. I did read the novel because I was very curious when Disney first came out with bought the franchise. I was a bit hopeful. I got fooled. I did not get fooled twice. And I just did not read anymore. All right. Let me see where we're at. In fact, all she has are sacred Jedi texts from Act 2. And again, Luke did find texts, like when courtship of Princess Leia, there was an old ship that got wrecked, and Yoda had the vision of someone in the future, Jedi in the future, which was Luke, who needed them. And so they got protected by one of the ladies there, and she was expecting him. And so he did that. But that was also crucial on building the new Jedi Order too as well. So there's a lot more depth into what Luke was doing when he was out searching for Jedi archives, searching for knowledge and to learn. He even, rounded up Jedi that were in hiding that joined him, and grew from that as well. So it wasn't just him growing by himself; it was him growing with others. And because it's in force sensitiveness is inherited, whether you learn quickly or not, and what abilities you have or not, if you are born with it from your force sensitive parents, that determines how fast you'll learn. And again, Luke is a chosen one. There's no explanation for Rey. She's just a nobody, which is very off-putting as well. And again, when you look at the prequel trilogy, there's a lot of nobodies in there. There's a lot of nobodies. So this isn't a new story of, oh, a woman who is a nobody getting these abilities. There's a lot of nobodies in there. Rey definitely on her way to outclassing the Skywalkers should she survive Palpatine's assault when whatever the First Order has planned. Okay, so we already have a lot of spoilers, leaks, whatever you want to call them, about Palpatine being in the story. And I think almost it's confirmed he is, and this confirms it a little bit more, because a writer has to know what they're writing about when they have to put together the lore. Okay, so now is Palpatine a part of the First Order still, or is he a different faction? We don't know, but this is implying it is. And again, this is opinion piece as well. The fact Leia is letting her do her own thing sums it up. Okay, so when did Rey have to have permission from anybody? That's what I get in the story. She just went along with it, and they said, oh, here you go, take the lightsaber, take the Falcon, do this, do that. So she really didn't have to have permission with anything. So Leia trusts Rey and knows she's a talent the likes of which of the galaxy has never seen before. Yes, they've seen it before. They've seen it with Anakin. In fact, he was the poster boy war hero in the Clone Wars. Are we forgetting the lore here that which this is built on? And the Clone Wars is now canon to Disney explained universe. So again, person who I didn't see who was reading this article, I'll scroll up and announce who it is. But this person who wrote this article, you need to learn your lore. All right. Okay. That's why Palpatine is now seemingly obsessed with her the same way Snoke was. Okay. Well, Palpatine always wanted an apprentice, and that's the rule of two. So there you go. And then he also, okay, I'm going to touch bases on this. Why wasn't he intrigued with Ben Solo? He's a Skywalker. He comes from this strong bloodline. So that does not make sense. So just wrap your head around that in this lore, in this explained universe. Okay. This references that sure, Rey might currently be more powerful than the Skywalkers, but in the grand scheme of things, she's also shaping up to be the strongest Jedi of all time. Of course she is, because she's a Mary Sue. So we already know now that she's more powerful than Kylo, because she already beat his ass a few times already, which is off-putting, because now we don't see any struggles of hers, and now we don't see the baddie winning, and the baddie's always supposed to win first, at least, or have some kind of triumph or clever scheme against the protagonist, and we don't see this, and so this totally is off-putting. All right, so let's scroll up here, and let's see who we are talking. Okay, so this is by Ronaldo Matadine, and this is of the CBR exclusive comics and comic news. All right. So what do you think about this? Are you just as upset or frazzled or whatever about this revelation? Or are you like, yeah, we already knew this crap already. This confirms she's a Mary Sue. So please leave your comments below, and thank you for joining. And let me see here. Let me get back to this. That's not letting me cancel. All right. There we go. Why is it so dark in here? All right. So thank you so much. I hope this turns out good. And please leave your comments below. Um, like I said, I was resting in the bed, contemplating on getting up and getting ready for the day. And then I read that article and I'm like, oh, hell no. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I shall talk to you later. Have a good day.